This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
This is Joe Rabil. So today what we're going to do is I want to use multiple time frames to give you the ability to take advantage of a deep oversold reading on the higher time frame where it's coming into support. All right. And then we're going to use the intermediate term time frame to evaluate the decline. And then we're going to go down to a small time frame to help with the reversal and get really good entry. All right. Now this sounds kind of confusing as I'm bringing this up, but it'll make a lot of sense as we go through the charts. Now, one thing I want to point out is what I like to do with these videos is kind of give you, tools where I think we could see something happening like this in the future, near future. All right. So if we got a deep oversold move, let's say we get a drop in the market and it comes into support on the higher time frame, I want to give you some tools as to be able to how to take advantage of this in an aggressive way, get in off of a low and be a little bit more aggressive for an entry. All right. So just want to make sure you have the tools to take advantage of certain aspects of the market when they're taking place. All right. Let's go ahead and get going. Now, if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Also, I want to mention if you want to learn more about some of these techniques, you can click the link in the description and find out more about my book. All right. Let's go ahead and get going. Okay, I've got the chart of Goldman Sachs up with my monthly in the bottom left, a weekly in the bottom right, and actually I have an hourly showing where I've scrolled back to a key level on this area, and then I've got a weekly here. Normally I'd have a daily here, but for this specific setup, I want to go down to a smaller time frame. So I'm going to give you all the rules and the reasons why. All right. Now, if we look at what's taken place on the monthly chart of Goldman, in fact, I want to expand this for a second. We can see we made this really strong move. And then in April, when the market got hit, we were coming down into the zone between the 18 and the 40. All right. You see how both those lines are still rising at a good rate. You see how the MACD is holding the signal line. You also see how ADX is showing a lot of strength and green DI is holding above red. So we've got buyers still in command here. All right. Clearly. Now, one of the other things I want to point out is that this pullback comes right back to this breakout area. Right. We came back to the area where it broke out from, where the MACD turned up, this longer term reversal, zero line reversal, and we come back to that area. All right, so we know, at least we have an inkling that this is a strong support area. All right, now my suggestion here is, if we have a lot of bearish sentiment, if people get really bearish as this is dropping down into support, you'll find stocks like this. There'll be a group of stocks that are playing this way. All right, in the market probably too. But this is just a really good example where we have upside momentum and we're getting this sharp pullback. All right. Now, if you notice, we want to evaluate the pullback. All right, but the pullback, we can't really evaluate the pullback on the higher time frame. And we know the MACD is holding the pinch. Or holding the signal line and forming a pinch. And we know that the green DI is holding above red, showing that the buyers are still pretty strong. However, I like to go down to the smaller time frame weekly, all right, smaller than the monthly, and evaluate this decline based on what's taking place in the MACD and the ADX. All right, now we can see what's taking place. With this harsh move, pretty strong decline from almost 700 down to about, 430 or something like that. The MACD just works its way back down to the zero line. The signal line is still well above the zero line. All right, that's a very good sign when we have the separation between the two, where the signal line is still holding well above zero. All right, so that's one thing. The second thing is the ADX is staying below 25 through the decline. So we have red DI making a move, making a higher high here, right? But there's not enough strength in the sellers to get this ADX to cross significantly above the 25 line. So with this in place and this in place, I know that if I get a reversal from this vantage point, from this specific point, then I can play this to the upside. Odds are pretty good that I'm going to get a decent upside move because the buyers are still in command here. All right. So what do we do in this situation? If you go down to the daily chart, it's going to take a long time to reverse the trend. When there's this much volatility, it takes a while. So I've scrolled back to the early April, and I've got the hourly chart up. All right, let's zoom in on this. So here's what's taking place in this drop. So you can see this is early April, right? We get this move to the downside, and then we get a strong rally off the low, and then we form a higher bottom, and we form a pinch. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to point out is we have a really strong reading in the ADX, but one of the things you can do is use MACD in this situation. And I want to scroll back as far as I can go, and you can see how many times has the MACD gotten this deeply oversold away from the zero line like it did in this early April. All right. We have 0 times going back as far as the data goes, at least, where this oversold. All right. This move prior, this drop prior where we had a strong ADX reading was right in the heart. This drop was right in the heart of where we have a normalized pullback. All of these are kind of normalized pullbacks. This is only one that is extreme reading. All right, so that's more of a sign of a climax, most likely, or the potential for a climax. Okay, so I'm willing to take a bet. Now, remember, I am not buying off the hourly because I like what I see on the hourly. I am buying because I am coming into major support and I don't have a lot of selling strength in the decline. This is my reason for getting in. I am not getting in because of what I'm seeing here. I'm using this to get in early. All right, so I can take this pinch play entry crossing back above the 18, and let's just say it's moving fast and we got 470. If we look at where 470 is on this monthly chart, so let me just show you where 470 would be. 470 is way down. It's below the midpoint of this bar, right? We're getting in at a very low point, 470, right in that range, right about there. That's actually a little high. So we're getting in really close to this support zone near the low end of this spike low. We don't know it's a spike low yet. Right now, at the point we're buying, it actually looks really ugly, but it's coming into this major support. It's got a very good look to the MACD and the ADX, all right? And then we don't have a lot of selling strength in the decline. So if we can do that, we can get in off of this early using the smaller time frame pinch play, which happens after, I would say, if we're looking at this officially, we broke the downtrend line, rallied up through the 18, and then came back down and formed a higher low and then turned. So this is basically the 2. The pinch is the 2 in this situation where we're getting in off of the reversal on this time frame. Now, a more conservative entry would be waiting for the 3 to be taken out and then coming back and playing this pullback near the zero line. But if I'm not going to really play the conservative entry, I don't really want a conservative trade off of this play because I'm playing an aggressive. I want to play aggressively. So I'm going to do that off of here, and I'm going to put the stop at the low. Okay, I want to put the stop below the low of the move. Okay, now here's my reasoning. I don't really want to use the hourly to manage the position. I only want to use it to get in the position. All right. And then I'm going to put the stop below this low. And I'm actually going to, you've got some choices here. You could manage it off of the weekly chart, or you could manage it off of, let me see if I can get back to this April spot. You can manage it off the daily. But, my opinion is that I really don't like managing off of a position until the trend shifts. So I would probably wait till May, early May, middle of May. The 18 crosses above the 40. Both lines are rising. Now I can use the daily to manage. However, I don't want to raise the stop using an hourly chart and try and get stopped out prematurely. So I'm going to keep the stop down here, and if I want to take partial profits as it's moving up, that's fine. But I'm going to kind of keep the stop down low until I get a real shift in the trend. And when that happens, then I can start to manage the position off the daily chart. Now, if it moves up strong enough like this did, and you shift the trend on the weekly, then you can go ahead and manage it off the weekly if you want to turn it into into a really long-term trade. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. But what I'm trying to prevent you from doing is getting in a great trade off of the hourly chart at the low and then getting nicked out because it comes down and breaks the 40 or something like that. We don't want to do that. We want to stay pretty far behind this. Now, another way you can manage this is you have your stop here, right? And then you make a move and you make another low here. All right, and you make a pivot, so you make a clear pivot low here. Then I can raise the stop to the prior pivot low. All right, then you move up and you make another pivot low here. Now I can come below the prior pivot low. Once we do this pivot low here, I can come below this prior pivot low. Okay, so I'm going to use the second. I'm going to move back two pivots until the higher time frame switches its trend. Then I can work off of that time frame and manage it from there. All right, so that is a way of handling this position where you're getting in and you're trying to stay in on this monthly, weekly, but you don't want to be stupid about it and manage it. I don't want to keep the stop all the way down at the low and have this moving up from 470 up to 600 or something like that, and I haven't moved the stop up at all. So using that the second pivot low as a trailing stop method will work very well. The ATR method really won't work in the situation off the hourly. It's too tight, all right? You could do it off the daily, but like I said, I don't really like using a time frame until the trend has switched. So you can do that, but it'll be after the fact on the daily chart. So this is a way to kind of manage that position using the two pivot low back mentality until we get the trend going to the upside. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.